very first thing you want to do, of course, is get it up off the ground so you block it up so it's secure and not going to tip over when you're working on it. Then you just want to stand in front of it, put a leg on each side, and you just want to break these top caps loose. And I thought it was a 19. I must have got an 18. Yeah, I got an 18. Because it'll be a lot easier to do that now than when they're off. They're on there snug, and you just need to break them loose, that's all. Thread it down through the cables. Okay, we're done with that part. Okay, now you want to pull the axle on the front wheel. You'll need to remove the cotter key to do that. And the axle nut. It's bigger than the 19. Probably about a 21 or 2, I'm guessing.
This is 21, but boy, that thing was little.
Not that one. There we go. That's 22. Okay, then just spin the nut off. Actually, it's not a bad idea to just run that nut so it's flush with the end of the axle, and then with a mallet or something. Here's a mallet.
Hot dog.
Just tap it over a little bit to get it started. With a mallet, you can, of course, take it on through and then just pull it from the other side. Okay, before you pull the axle all the way out, you want to release the brake cable over here from the mount on the fork. And that's a 10 millimeter. And of course, you should have something to put all your bolts and things in. There we go. Okay, go ahead and pull that out, and then you can just pull the brake backing plate right out of the wheel, supposedly. Might have to wiggle it a little bit. Might even have to back the brakes off a little bit if it doesn't come out easily. Okay, and then you can just let this hang. Now's a good time to check your brake linings, make sure you have plenty, and if the brake's been squealing a little bit, you can take a piece of coarse sandpaper and rough that up a little bit before you stick it back. You can take. Okay, next thing you'll want to pull the fender off, including the mount, and no need to bother in trying to take these nuts off the top. They're welded to the mount, at least mine were. And I put some pretty good force on there before I decided they weren't going to come. The better way, of course, is to just take a 5 millimeter Allen wrench and come at it from underneath. Just spin those things out of there. Oh, this is a different year than mine. It's a 10 millimeter bolt instead of an Allen head, so we'll have to switch gears here. Okay, and I put a little extension on there so I could get in there easier, and I'm going the wrong way. Let's see. There we go. And loosen the other ones. A little bit difficult to get in there. You can get it. Alright, then just spin them out of there. Alright, once you have it unbolted, you can just pull it out of the way. We already pulled this little grommet out for the speedometer cable. Just pick it up, twist it, and pull it out of the way. And while you're at it, might as well remove these reflectors, get them out of the way so you don't have to work around them later on. Looks like they're also a 10 millimeter, so come off quite easily. Don't you just slow it when you think they're finger tight and they're not? Okay, next thing we want to do is remove this clamp from the top of the fork boot. Again, it's just easier to do it now than it will be later on. So just take your Phillips screwdriver and loosen that up enough that it will easily slide off the fork when the time comes. And after that, it's a matter of loosening the bolts that hold the fork in place. On the top it's a 10 millimeter. On the bottom a 12. And when you loosen the last bunch, you want to be sure that you hang on to the fork, because it might just come out of there. And in some cases you might have to help it out. Okay, this is just going to slide out. I've heard of people who had difficulty getting theirs out, so they actually had to take a screwdriver or a chisel and force in there to open up the clamps. If you do that, you want to make sure you don't get in so far that you're going to scratch the tube. Alright, there's the fork out.